Hi Muzzy, my name's Josh. I wanted to get in touch with you about an idea I've got that I think you'd be interested in. It stems from a conversation I had yesterday with someone. It was the manager of a local, well, it was manager of Waterstones in Jersey, um, and something I've been talking to a lot of people about lately is the disconnect in Jersey of a lot of the different cultures, the arts, the scenes. You have the music scene all keep themselves to themselves, and the kind of the poetry scene keep themselves to themselves, and the kind of adrenaline sports or active sports team kind of keep themselves to themselves. Um, and we just have a very cliquey society in Jersey where everyone wants to um, keep themselves separated. And I had a conversation with this woman where I was saying, wouldn't it be amazing if we had a cultural destination in Jersey, being between England and mainland Europe? We're right in the middle with this tiny island. We could fill the island with culture, and the way to do it would be exchange and collaboration and uniting all the different fronts of arts and culture together. And I said to her, imagine like Jersey Live weekend, so musicians, with the Festival of Words, with the Extreme Weekend, the Sports Extreme Weekend. And she said, how on earth does extreme sports and skateboarding and motocross go with art and music and poetry? And I said, and I like now, I couldn't explain it to her because it was just in my head. That it was obvious that when I had to explain it, I didn't really know where to begin. And so I thought, for some people, it's very different to have the perception of something they haven't potentially come across before or been made aware of, and it's very difficult to visualize something until you've kind of got the tools and got the materials to create an image, to create a visual behind an idea. And so I wanted to work with you if you'd be interested, to do a little thought experiment that could be used as an example of the non-judgmental mentality that would be the only way, the only kind of the definite prerequisite to connecting all the different mediums and kind of things in Jersey. And you have lots of different festivals around Europe and America, Asia, where there's no disparity between, oh, I'm a reader and a poet, or I like cinema, or I like art, or I like music. It all connects. And I'm sure you as a poet and as an artist, in your spoken word, you'd know that all of these themes are merely facades. They all have the same essence behind them, whether it be the creativity you find playing an instrument, or the creativity you find painting a painting, or creating a sculpture. And to me, extreme sports is an expression as well. I don't do any extreme sports myself, but it's definitely an expression. And the one that strikes me is skateboarding, and a very specific type of skateboarding comes to mind when you see skateboarders and they go through a city and they're following the natural curves, and they're looking at the ways they can use a park bench to create a platform for a trick. And it's the visualization, it's the mentality, it's the creativity, the spontaneity. And I thought, I'd met a local skateboarder who works in a coffee shop over here, and he showed me a video on YouTube of him skating around Barcelona, and I thought, and he was skating through the city, and it flowed, and it kind of had a movement to it, and you could see the way that it was a journey watching him skateboard, and he had different camera angles, and the kind of the makeup of it was beautiful. It was a piece of art to watch this video edited, and him skateboarding through felt like he was taking you somewhere, taking you on a journey. And the soundtrack to this was just a typical kind of rock song, acoustic song, whatever. And I thought, that flow, that creativity in his expression is no different to the creativity when you roll the words off your tongue and you take us on a journey with the spoken word you've done, and I've seen how you use that in education. And for most people, hence why it went viral, it was totally unexpected how you can implement two things that seemingly one is very um, very logical and analytical. Education's a structured system, and spoken word is abstract. Yet actually, you put the two together and you create something, a synergy, something more amazing. And so I thought about something else that's been made aware to me, that I've been made aware of, which is that the Jersey Tourism are crying out for ideas to rejuvenate tourism over here, and they've got a big grant that they're waiting to find some people to utilize to replenish the ideas and the idea kind of tank in Jersey. And I thought a huge festival in Jersey, which is not Jersey Live just for music and is not just extreme sports, but a festival that amalgamates all these different creative arts together, would be something that people could potentially come from all around the world to our little island as a destination point. And its finiteness, the fact it's just an island, contains all of these arts, and by containing it actually forces them together. It's almost like the in geography, when you get the friction and the kind of the pressures of things when they're pushed together and they create a spark. And to me, I think that the disconnect and this kind of expansion in Jersey, where because we're on a 9x5 island, everyone wants to get their own privacy and their own personal space, and whatever expression they have, they kind of try to detach themselves from everyone else because we all feel in each other's pockets. And so knowing that Jersey Tourism want to do something new and unique, I wanted to do a small video with you, where I would get one of these skateboarding videos, and I'll send you the one my friend sent me, and I'd like you to do a spoken word as the soundtrack to it, to show that these two things are similar, and actually everything is similar. All the different arts, all the different cultures. There's no judgment, there's no prejudice, there's no, oh, I'm an artist and I don't like music, or I'm a poet and I don't like extreme sports because that's this and that's that. And I think the only way to really do something revolutionary, and as you know, doing what you've done with your teaching, pioneers are the forefront of next generations, a new century of thought, a new age. And for a lot of people, they can't visualize the way things can happen until you showcase them. So I wanted to do a little video for you, to show that a skateboarding video could go viral with spoken word as the auditory half of the visual half. Those two things go together, but you have a very conventional expectation that you would have a music soundtrack, a rock song or a pop song or whatever goes with a trendy skateboarding video. And I wanted to do something really different, and really that people won't expect, to show that actually a festival. And my long-term thoughts of this are, imagine someone skateboarding in a half pipe. They're kind of going up and they're doing a trick, and they're coming down, they're doing a trick, and like this kind of perpetual motion, this kind of rhythmical, kind of like a grandfather clock, pendulum, this kind of pendulum motion. I could imagine you stood at the top of the half pipe with a microphone, rolling off the words of a spoken poet as this guy is doing his tricks, and all the audience are watching this guy on the half pipe doing his extreme sports. And usually you'd have megaphones blaring rock music, and it's cliche, and you have to do something different these days. And I thought, what about a spoken poet under a spotlight on his own, stood at the top of the half pipe with this guy doing his tricks, and you're vocalizing the movement and the kind of the connection of his tricks all together. And how then actually we could show that all of these arts don't need to be separate, shouldn't be separate, and it's a restriction we're imposing on ourselves by being discriminatory and expecting. There's a lot more depth to all of this, but that's 10 minutes, and I just wanted to get in contact with you. Thanks.